A Sunday afternoon in Pukekohe, and what wonderful weather we've had for rugby, and what wonderful rugby we've seen. 2 games today, you'll see them both live on Sky Sport. Good afternoon, I'm Chris O'Malley and welcome to Pukekohe Stadium, venue for the match this afternoon from the Air New Zealand NPC Division 1, Counties against Otago. That game kicking off at 2:30. But before then, we have what should be one great game of rugby for you. The very best of schoolboys rugby, the final of the National Secondary Schools Championship. Wesley against Palmerston North Boys High. This is almost a home game for Wesley. The college is just down the road, and this is one team that commands real support from their schoolmates. Hometown support must have worked for Wesley. Jalal Beckham crossing in the first minute of the game. But from then on, Rongotai settled down and dominated the first half. Some powerful running from number 13, Iniafoa. Saw him beat 4 defenders. There he goes to put Rongotai into the lead. Down 5-11 at the half, and after a stern word from coach Amanaki Palavi, Wesley turned on the power, which had already seen them beat Kelston, Westlake and Otahuhu on their way to the semi-finals. Here's a fine try from outstanding lock, Harley to Uhoko. He was soon to add another with the set move any coach would have been proud of. Here, number 12, Salala Mapusua, the vice-captain, draws the defender and puts Tuhuhoko in for his second. Wesley now had total dominance. Salala Mapusua, the deputy head boy, showing that he was perhaps unlucky not to have been chosen for the New Zealand secondary schools team. Southland boys were very much the underdogs for this competition. Their road to the semis had seen them beat the strong Aranui High School from Christchurch. Here the centres combined nicely with Malili Muliaina putting Southland up 7-0. However, this was to be a close contest. Palmerston North with quick hands in the backs, putting Scott Walsh, the former secondary school sprinting champ, into the clear. Oh, a nice finishing too. Keep your eye on number 3, Isaac Cook, all 126 kilograms of him. Now an 18-year-old crashing over. A great ball from Jason Morgan sent Joshua Vakapuna to the line. The big winger, oh, look at this pace. With less than 5 minutes on the clock, and with Southland boys down by 3, Brendan Boleski sent the game into extra time. After 17 minutes of extra time, the game was to come down to a penalty kick by Blair Campbell. The 18-year-old under real pressure. And this fine kick sending his team into today's final against Wesley College. Yes, they look pretty happy with that. Palmerston North into the final again, and they do play Wesley College, which is, of course, the old alma mater of Jonah Lomu. And there is some talk around the stadium today. They hope that Jonah will be playing in the main game, Counties against Otago. That's all a little bit later. First up, the schoolboys game. 2 teams have had to play very, very well to get this far. In fact, the road for Wesley to the final, Kelston, always a big match for them. Westlake were hammered, Otahuhu put away, and then Rongotai. Palmerston North Boys High beat Te Aute by default, narrowly beat New Plymouth, beat the boys from Rotorua, And as we saw, they beat Southland. So looking forward to a great game this afternoon. It has come down to Wesley against Palmerston North. Just a reminder, they play 35 minutes each way with a 5-minute half time. Kick-off just minutes away. Stick around. Look at these guys, the support they're lending to their team. Wesley College against Palmerston North Boys High at the Pukekohe Stadium. And you can't help but feel sorry for the Palmerston North parents. They are outnumbered today. You're watching Schoolboy Rugby on Sky. Our Sky Sport commentary team today are Brent Anderson and Richard Mason.
Hello everybody, yes, a lovely day for rugby here at Pukekohe, and this is the Palmerston North Boys High team taking the field first. Some experienced players in this Palmerston North side, particularly in the forward pack. You look there, Peter Myers, Isaac Cook, Shane Ratama and Grant Webb, in particular in the forwards. Very experienced, very capable players, but they've played an awful lot of rugby in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and that may tell before the day is out today. Just waiting now for the opposition today, Wesley College from Pukekohe. And to the chants of their supporters, here come the Wesley team, led by stand-in captain today, Lester Holani. And there is the Wesley 15. As you can see, a major Pacific Island influence in the team. A lot of lads of Tongan origin, some Cook Islanders, some Samoans, and a couple of Fijians and Maoris as well. It's a wonderful team. Big forward pack, you'll see, and fast and exciting backs. Moi Moi, Tongatutai, and Tautasi in particular out wide. Now, we're of the belief that both teams will be doing a haka for us before the match starts. Perhaps they're just tossing up now for who'll go first. Well, Brent Anderson, a big day this for schools rugby, the Nike National Championship. It's well looked forward to every day, and it's been a lot of work for these lads just to get this far.
They've had a long road to hoe, these boys, to get to the final. Plenty of games in the last 3 weeks since most of the provincial tournament championships have finished this year. Great for them to be here, but a lot of rugby. I hope they're not too tired and can really give of themselves. Palmerston North boys starting their haka now. And let's hope the Wesley boys honour their haka, and then Palmerston North boys do the same for the Wesley haka. I've seen some school games this year where the boys have got into the other haka and it's really made a mess of it. On my head, but the ones that are there, they just prickle up with that. Great haka from the boys. Something about the determination, the pride of each school just brought straight up to the top there. I think we're in for a great game of rugby, Richard.
The challenge has been well and truly laid down. Both sides doing the haka together. Palmerston North led by Shane Ratama and Lester Holani leading the haka for Wesley College. Well, it's Palmerston North who's going to get us underway.
Just back a bit, buddy. Please come back behind me.
Phil Rollinson,
You right, mate?
a local referee, to get us going. And Blair Campbell, it is who kicks out. George Stowers took the ball for Wesley, and the drive ahead is good. Stevenson feeds Thompson.
Back it up.
Beckham.
Behind those guys, boys. Back it up. Here it is. Back it, 10, quickly. There, buddy. Here, thank you.
Yes, an early error there from Palmerston North boys. Up offside as Jalal Beckham went round the side of that ruck. But already we've seen some of the power that Wesley possess.
Pulianga making good ground with the penalty.
Set it at the front for me, guys. Here we are.
And here's what the penalty was for. Players all offside. There was probably 2, possibly even 3 of them in white jerseys in front of the back of their own ruck. So the first line out of the day, Lolahea to feed. And a good solid drive from the line out by Wesley has seen them advance a bit further but lose possession through the put-out.
It's probably a silly mistake. You're probably better just to claim the ball at the line out, anchor yourself onto the ground, and then set something rather than drive through on an angle and go over the touchline. Palmerston feed.
Ratama looks for Myers and finds it. Stevenson digs in. And it's Blair Campbell's kick downfield, which saves them a bit of ground. This is Blair Campbell, just a 16-year-old. Lolahea looking for Stowers but didn't find him, but good play that from Beckham. But the referee spotted the little knock on. There's Jalal Beckham. And it was George Stowers at the top of his jump at the line out here. He couldn't control it, and there it went forward. Stevenson around the blind side with a very clever little kick. Goes into touch.
Tremendous nudge there from Stevenson. The scrum sort of screwed that way and gave him a little bit of opening, and he used it well. Good kick deep into Wesley territory, allowing Palmerston North to apply a bit of pressure early on in this game.
Well, it's a Wesley throw to the scrum. Sitalimani Lolahea to throw to the line out. Now they're a bit messy in their line-out play, Wesley, and this may cost them as Palmerston North charge ahead. Now out into the backs where Morgan going for the goal line. He's dropped the ball and the referee spotted it. We'll have a scrum, but that was good play. Messy line-out from Wesley, good back play from Palmerston.
Yes, Wesley failing to hold the ball in the last 2 line-outs, giving it over to Palmerston North. Good back move there, and Morgan, he just couldn't quite hold it. The arm sort of wrapped him up in the tackle, dragged the ball out of his fingertips, down it went. Wesley now, their backs right against their own goal line. They're put into the scrum.
We don't have a lot of time. Stay set, guys.
Well, look at that for a weight advantage. 101 kilos. That's a prop in this age group.
Probably the only thing in Palmerston North's favour. They're pushing them back, but you can't push more than a metre at the straight anyway.
Keep an eye on that player who ran off with the ball there. Sione Kepu playing number 8 today for Wesley College. He's a national secondary schools representative and a very, very good player. There he is there, winning the ball for his players. Holani with the big charge up. But I think he might have turned this over. Yes, indeed he has. This is coming on the Palmerston North side. Campbell feeds Morgan. Morgan looks for the runners. Stevenson again, Morgan again. Now this time he finds somebody inside him, it's Campbell. They're not making much progress here, Palmerston North, but they have retained possession. And Stevenson goes the blind side again. And Wesley have turned it over in defence right when they needed to. And Pulianga's clearance is a strong one. See you, Pulianga.
Here it is, fellas, please.
Good clearance, relieving some pressure there. I would have liked to have seen Stevenson, the Palmerston North boys high halfback, keep the ball in hand. His little grubber kick basically gave possession away to Wesley. When they've got the ball in hand, they could have mounted some more attack.
Ratimer's throw to the line out, and it's been pinched. Oh, that's great hands out at centre by Palusa.
Tackle, black ball.
And they got themselves out of a potentially nasty situation quite well there, Wesley, sniping around the Palmerston North line out.
It's another line out that doesn't go in. Good hands here from Beckham. Got it under control, then threw a big pass. Well taken in by the Wesley backs, earned a ruck.
Now there's been a penalty awarded during the scrum.
Shot.
And a little hand in there, look.
Yes, and straight away looking round. Ratu there to see where the referee had seen his little indiscretion, and it was right in front of him. He couldn't have missed it.
So the first scoring opportunity of the day goes to Palmerston North. We're in the 7th minute of the game. And Blair Campbell. From 24 metres, just about in front. Campbell pushes it to the right. And who knows how valuable that might be by the end of 70 minutes of rugby this afternoon.
Campbell missing that kick, he nailed it. One from a similar spot to get Palmerston North boys into the final. That one could prove vital.
Pulianga's restart's a long one. Grant Webb. Stevenson again. Jonathan Southey was the winger there there he is there, Southey. Ball went forward from him. So this is a pretty useful scrum for Wesley. They've got the full width of the field to work in from this.
Jonathan Southey won't be happy turning over possession there. He had the right idea, get infield and find some support, but lost it forward.
Mapasua made the run. Now it's been picked up and driven ahead by Ratu. Into the backs where Moi is coming in off his wing as an extra man. Pulianga. And that's a very good kick. That's put all sorts of pressure on Palmerston North. Scott Walsh, the fullback, couldn't take it, but it's been recovered by Vakapuna. And now it's out in the back line with Morgan for Palmerston North, looking to put Southey into space, but he couldn't manage to pass it beyond the square.
Jason Morgan has got plenty of space, just fires the pass, never really turned, squared himself around to make sure that the pass went back there. Critical little error because it could have really opened up there for Jonathan Southey.
So they may have an advantage of 100 kilos. Now look at this. Sione Kepu goes all the way. Sione Kepu, the opening try of the day for Wesley College. Now did that look like a Wesley College old boy on the run or what?
Well, I would have said it was an exact replica. Even the running style looked the same as he got the big legs pumping and the Wesley fans are delighted. Easy as pie when you've got power and speed. Picks it up, one hand, fend off, and it just opens up and they can't get near him. He came from the Northern Region's B team into New Zealand secondary schools, and it's not hard to see why. Tremendous individual try.
The Wesley old boy we're talking about, of course, Jonah Lomu. And if that running style doesn't remind you of Jonah, I don't know what is. Pulianga to attempt to convert the Sione Kepu try. But it's just held out to the right. So the Sione Kepu try is not converted. Here it is, just straight off the back of the scrum. He got outside the cover defence and then had too much speed.
A nice little in and out there right at the finish. Wingers sort of display those skills usually. But very well done from Sione Kepu. Great try, too much power and pace.
Palmerston North have recovered their own kick-off here. That's good play. I think it was Matt Skirman who got up and did it.
10 metres quickly, guys. Drag him up.
And that was Big George Stausnot, wasn't it? It was Hale Tuhoko who was caught offside.
This maul resulting from the kick-off, and the Wesley boys really just not getting back in behind the ball, trapping themselves offside. Hale Tuhoko and another big man in this Wesley pack. Went for a walk round them before kick-off, and they're huge, these boys.
Blair Campbell, who's one of the smaller men on the field at only 73 kilograms, with his second penalty attempt for the day. This is further out and it's wider, but I have to say it's a better looking kick and it's a good one.
And a very handy 3 points too from Palmerston North Boys High from Blair Campbell. They've answered straight back from a Wesley try. That gives them some confidence.
That's the story, isn't it? If you're scored against, try and reply just as quickly as you can. Now that's a very good kick-off by Pulianga. Goes 10 metres, gives his forwards every chance to get onto it, and they've done so. Kepu again. Ratu. Now look at the props coming in behind there.
Turnover, guys.
Very good work in the middle of that maul there from Isaac Cook. The prop on this side of the Palmerston North scrum, they call him Cookie, I suppose, or Bear actually, I suppose it's Cookie Bear. But he did well, wrapped his mitts around the ball, stopped Wesley getting it to ground.
With a chance of encouragement coming from the grandstand, the big drums banging.
Okay, let's get that binding on. Get it bound up, okay? Let's get the binding on.
Wesley had slightly more of the ball in this early stage. Haven't been playing for a quarter of an hour yet. Remember, 35-minute halves for the schools teams. And then we'll have for you the First Division clash in the Air New Zealand MPC, counties against Otago, so stay tuned for that. That'll kick off just a little after 2:30. Now there's an error from Palmerston North, that's gone out on the full. Blair Campbell just a bit too strong.
It's Campbell, great big punt there, but the wind sort of just drifts from corner to corner here at the stadium. That dragging it over the touchline. Wesley right back on attack now.
Wesley on attack, and it's their ball to the line out. Tuhoko went high and won it for them. Now that looked like a little bit of confusion in the ranks there. I'm not sure that that was quite what they expected, but Mapasua is the man who sets up the ruck in the end. And the referee has given the ball to Wesley, just as they were actually bringing the ball out.
See the mark, so you don't choose it, back it up, one. No ball, half.
Jale Ratu on this side of the scrum for Wesley. That's him with the scrum cap on. And they've come left, working all sorts of double times. Mapasua. There's some lovely runners in this Wesley pack. Stowers. Kepu runs into Isaac Cook. That's a fair contest. And the referee is very quick to blow the whistle. There's Isaac Cook and Sione Kepu. And now watch this fin. Out of my way.
He didn't get out of the way. Good work from Isaac Cook there. He stood up, made the tackle, stopped the play dead.
He's a big man, Isaac Cook. 126 kilograms he's listed at. That's very big for an 18-year-old. There's Isaac there going down on this side of the scrum for Palmerston North. Quick hook from Wesley. Running all sorts of moves. Palusa was the one who eventually got the ball to the 22, and the referee has blown against, I would say, number 6, Carl Thompson.
Shot, is it? Shot wide. Wide skip, please. Let's get him on
Another
his feet.
fancy
Hands
back
out,
move
those
here
ones,
from
eh?
the Wesley boys.
Had enough.
Great tackle from Campbell. But then watch Thompson just drops down onto one knee and starts to use his hand. Naughty boy.
Yeah, I've just given him a call on that one. Hands out, stay on their feet.
That's the other prop forward for Palmerston North, Nick Barton.
Yeah, I've just given him
On the
a call,
left of that
Talk to
shot.
the skipper, because I've already said that. So you're going to ask your skipper.
Pulianga. Now, he won the Nike goal kicking competition that they had at Eden Park on Wednesday from all the top 4 schools. Here's his penalty attempt. Hits it low and hard, but hits it straight. So Wesley College further into the lead then, 8 points to 3 they're leading, and we've been playing for 15 minutes in the first half. High, wide and handsome that. It's out on the full, it's not 10 metres. And I would imagine Blair Campbell's saying to himself some quite rude words right at the moment.
Well, he certainly won't be happy with himself. His first kick-off earlier on was excellent, allowed his forwards to get in underneath and reclaim position. Now he's put one over the touchline and it didn't go 10 metres. Wesley can launch another attacking scrum. Don't be too surprised if Sione Kepu has another burst from the back.
No, sorry, guys. Hey, I don't want these front rows coming up, eh? It's dangerous play. I want you to keep them down.
The referee very quickly blowing the whistle when the front rows stood up, and I think that's a good thing because there's real potential for injuries when the front rows go up straight, particularly when you've got big men like these. Look how quickly they've fed that ball. Out wide, Moi Moi could not handle. Big Salesi Moi Moi. A big strong winger, Moi Moi. He's actually played for counties this season.
He's had a couple of runs for them and the ball just gets too far out in front of him, really. Snatching at it, Moi Moi. Couldn't control it, knocking it on. Not bad when you're playing for a First Division representative side while you're still at school.
It's a great nursery, the Wesley College. So's Palmerston North Boys High, for that matter. Campbell's got the wobbles at the moment. His last 2 touches of the ball have not been good ones.
There's nothing really wrong with that. The age-old mistake. I think he had a little peek up to see who was coming at him and coughed up the ball.
Kepu just finds the touchline before he can get the pass. Oh, the more I see of him, the more he reminds me of Jonah Lomu.
Yes, it's almost as if he's modelled his play off Jonah. Big leap ball on the outside hand. Good work, though, from the Palmerston North boys' defence. Stevenson, the little halfback, getting in there, driving him over the touchline.
They closed the space very well indeed. Now, that's a mess, that line out, but it's come down eventually on the Wesley side. Moi Moi with the charge. And he presents the ball nicely. Stowers gets to the 10-metre mark, and he might have lost it. Well, he was losing it, and then used his hand. And the referee spotted that. So Palmerston will possibly play on. No, we'll go for touch, says the captain, Grant Webb.
A big run here from Stowers, straight through. Now, does he play this ball on the ground? He turns it over.
Yeah, somebody else does there.
Yeah, they dive in, don't they?